Good day, Dr. Elaine, and to all my classmates. My name is Janita Ilog. I am going to share with you about pattern of citation like paraphrase, summary, and direct quotation. Now, before we start, here is our article that we are going to use as an example. This result suggests that morning people or early chronotypes as measured on the morningness-eveningness continuum are more proactive than evening types. Additionally, the misalignment of social and biological time as assessed by the difference between rise times on weekdays and on free days correlated with proactively suggesting that people with high misalignment and biological time may be less able to act in proactive manner, probably because of sleep delay. Their biological schedules seem not to fit neatly into social demands. Example, school or university schedules, as do those of less misalignment people. From Randler C. 2009, proactive people are morning people. Now, we start from quoting. Or, how are we going to use quotation mark? First, use quotation when you are repeating something from a source exactly word for word. Second, you should use quotation marks even if you are only taking just a few words from a source. Quotes can help lend authority to an initial argument, but should not be relied upon too heavily in a paper. If you find yourself quoting an entire paragraph, a paraphrase or summary of that content may often be more appropriate. So meaning, you can lend words from the authority, but please do not rely heavily on a paper. You can get few words and then put a quotation mark. Quotes can and should be used when the original author's wording is unusual, unique, or memorably states a point. For example, using the paragraph above, as I was read while ago, Randler 2009 states that late risers have a high misalignment, which results in mismatch their natural schedules and the normal workday. So you are going to put a author first, then the year, and then the statement that you borrowed from the author, and then put a quotation mark. And then from the last part of your statement or the sentence, you are going to put the page where you going or where you get the statement from what page. Then put it a close and open parenthesis, and then remember you are going to put a period outside the open and close parenthesis. Or, people with high misalignment of social and biological time may be less able to act in proactive manner, probably because of sleep delay. So you are going to put quotation mark from the whole statement because you are borrowed that statement from the article. And then put a quotation mark and follow the name of the author, the year, and the page. Do not forget, please put a period outside the close and open parentheses. If you notice, there are two ways to incorporate the source. First is the signal phrase. The signal phrase using the author's name in your own narrative. and then incorporating the idea or words into a sentence like our first example. As I told you that in signal phrase, you are going to use first the author's name and then your own narrative and then incorporate your own idea into your or words in a sentence. Gets? Second, direct quotation. Using the words ideas or ideas of the source independently and adding the author's name in in-text citation like the second example that we have. As I told you, you borrowed all the statement from the article. So you are going to put a quotation mark and then you are going to add the author's name and the in-text citation. Second is paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is taking the idea of a sentence or passage and putting into your own words. So meaning, you get words or the idea or the statement from the article and then write it in your own words. That is paraphrasing. Because paraphrasing is not copying the sentence and replacing or changing a few words to be different from the original. This is called patch writing or it may trigger plagiarism detecting programs. As you notice, if we make our essay and then we are going to submit it in our LMS, it is easy detecting that we are copying because of plagiarism. Easily to detect when you're just copying the statement from the original author. Do not copy. If you are paraphrasing, do not copy. Just you are going to you are going to change the word or the few words to make it different. Or you are going to find a synonym of that word so that you will not be plagiarized. You should paraphrase when the idea or point is more important than the actual. For example, if you read the article and it is very difficult to understand, so you can find synonym of that word that is easy to understand. You should paraphrase when the words are complex but the point is simple. Yun. Paraphrase should remain faithful in the original meaning of the material. Huwag mong ilayo ang kahulugan ng isang statement doon sa original na article. For example, Randler 2009 states that people who are naturally morning people often also display traits that are considered proactive. He also suggests that late risers may not show as many proactive traits because they naturally operate on a different sleep schedule. So you are going to put the author's name and the year and then your understanding about the statement from the article and then you are going to add at the last of the sentence the page of that book or the article. And do not forget that in the close and open parentheses, you are going to put the period at the last outside. Or, people who are naturally morning people who have or have been shown also display traits that are considered proactive. And late risers may display fewer of less traits because they don't enough sleep on days when they have to go to work, school. And then you are going to put the author's name, the year, and the page of the book or the article. And don't forget to put a period after the sentences in the open and close parentheses. Okay, summarizing. As with paraphrasing. Summarize when the idea or point is more important than the actual word that we are going to use. However, summary can also consider or condense more or much material, even an entire book or the article. Summary can often use or lead into your own points of the material. Do not copy the whole article. You just understand and then write it in your own points for your summary. Example, as I read a while ago, the article. Recent research shows that people who have not naturally early risers often have persistent issues adjusting themselves to the morning-oriented schedule of most schools and workplaces, and because of this, may be less proactive in their behavior. And then you are going to, this statement is your own understanding, and you are going to write it. And then, from the last sentence, or your last statement, you are going to put the author and then the year. Or, another example, the natural alignment of sleep schedules to work and school schedules allow early risers to have energy and display proactive traits, while people who are natural late risers, and this often combating sleep delay in adhering to regular schedules, display fewer of these traits. And then you are going to put the author and in the year. If you notice, in the summary, we do not always have to include the page number as we are summarizing and findings from the whole study rather than a small part of it. So meaning, you are not going to include the page number. Where did you get the statements from the article? That's all for today. Thank you for listening. If you have some questions, just raise or put your question in our after the discussion or the reporting. Thank you so much.